Welcome back to LarryB YouTube channel. In today's class, we're going to learn how to make this beautiful kissing pleat dress that we see here. It has a yoke and has a parted place at the center front. It's a combination of two beautiful fabric and it also has a pleated sleeve. I'm going to take you through how to cut and sew this in this class. If this is something you like to learn, kindly stay tuned to the end of this tutorial. Thank you. I'm using this fabric, and this fabric for this tutorial is going to be like a mix and match. So this green is going to be for the body of the tutorial, and I'm going to use this blue for the yoke and the inverted pleat at the center front. So I'm going to start with the yoke. So I have folded my fabric. The front and back both have yoke, so I'm going to cut the front and back together. My fabric is folded together. So this is my zipper allowance. It has a zipper at the back. So from here, you take your measurement from here. I'm going to mark my neck width. I'm working with 3 inches neck width, and then the neck depth for the back is going to be 1 inch for me, and then for the front is going to be 3.5 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and connect all of that with my ruler. So now I've connected for my neckline. So now I'm going to mark my shoulder. The shoulder is 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. So on that 7.5 points, I'm going to come down by 1 inch, and then I'm going to connect to my neck point for my shoulder slope. I hope my chalk is visible. So from there, I'm going to mark my armhole measurement, okay, which is also your chest line. And then on that armhole measurement, for me, that's 9 inches. On that point, I'm going to mark my armhole line. So once you mark your armhole line, you're going to mark your shoulder measurement again so that you can have your armhole line. Then there you're going to divide this into 2 and go in by 1/2 inch. So on that line, you're going to take your bust measurement divided by 4, and then you're going to connect to form your armhole curve, just like that. So once your armhole curve is formed, you're done. You still have allowance to sew, so you can see that I still have allowance to join it to the lower part. So what I will do now is to grab my scissors, and then I'm going to cut out this shape that I have. So for the lower part, the length is going to be your full length minus the yoke that you already took out. Remember, my yoke is around 10 inches. The full length for me is 40, so I have 41 inches here, including allowance for joining here and for folding it on the hem. So now for the width, you're going to work with your hip measurement. Then you can add as much as between 3 to 5 6 inches. My hip measurement is 46, divided by 4 is 11.5. So I just made that 12 inches, which is here. Then I added extra 5 inches to that, no, extra 4 inches, and then the rest is going to be my seam allowance. So that was how I got this measurement. So you can just mark what you have on the upper part, or since you have already cut out your yoke, you can just bring your yoke here. You fold it again into 2, and then you are going to match the front with the center front. Remember, this back have zipper allowance. This is where the front is, so this is where you are going to be placing it, and then you're going to match it. So once you match it, you mark where it stops. They have to be the same because you are going to be sewing them together. So you mark where it stops, which is here, and then you go ahead and connect all the way to the hem. So what I'm going to do next is to go ahead and connect from that point all the way to the hem. So I'm going to connect from here to the hem. So I'll just place my tape to mark points where I need to connect to, because my ruler is not so long. So once I have those points, I'm going to bring it here now and then connect all the way to the hem. So it's an A-line dress. Once you connect like that, you're going to cut off the excess that you have. For the front, you can add maybe 1/2 inch seam allowance because we are still going to join here, but I just decided to ignore it So I'm connecting all the way to the end like this. So once you are done cutting it, this is what you are going to have. So for your back, there is a zipper going through it. So you're going to go ahead and slash the back into two for the zipper. So I'm going to keep the back as now, and then for the front, there's going to be an inverted pleat at the center front as well. So I'm going to come here and then slash the center front into two. So there are several ways you can do this inverted pleat. You can use your slash and spread method to get it as well, but I want to use a method that is very, very simple and will help be able to understand it. So once you slash it, this is what you are going to have. It's going to be into two like this. So now the fabric that I used for my yoke, I'm going to bring it now and use it for the inverted pleat. So the length is going to remain the same with the length that you have here. That's your half length, that's your yoke minus your full length. You can see that the length is on the same. Let me turn it like this. You can see that the length is the same with what we have coming from the beginning. So this is the length and it stops here. So now the width depends on how much pleats you want. So for me, I have 12 inches on fold, which means when I open it out, it's going to be 24 inches. Okay, so from, let's say, 16 inches upwards is fine. So you can see I have 24 inches, then I added few seam allowance to join it back. That was why I said you can add seam allowance to this as well, because you are going to be joining it here. So what I'm going to do now is to go ahead and place it like this. Then you're going to sew like this, and then for this other side I'm going to place it as well and sew. So this line is going to be, this new fabric is going to be in between the green fabric. Okay, so I've gone ahead to sew it. You can see you just need to join them. I'm facing like this so that we can see very well, because the table is not so big. So once you're done joining it now, I'm going to put that center part on fold, and then I'll notch the midpoint, which is here. So notching the midpoint is going to assist you in creating that pleat. So from one end, which is the joining here, I'm going to take it to that pleat to form the first pleat. It's a kissing pleat, so it's an inverted pleat. It's going to be facing each other. So once I form the first pleat here, I'm going to hold it with my pin, and then I'm going to run a stitch on that part to hold it in place. So for the second one as well, you simply bring it here and then take it to that notch. They have to meet on this point, you can see. So once you make it to that point as well, you're going to take your pin and then you're going to hold that as well. So you go ahead and run a stitch to hold it permanently. So you're going to stitch it. If you look at the wrong side, you can see what we have. It's going to form like a box here. So you're going to go ahead and run a stitch at that point. I'm done sewing it now. You can see it is stitched together. So the pleat is now formed. So you can see what the pleat is looking like. You can see. So it depends on you or what form you want your pleat to be. So you can just go ahead, you can take them together like this and iron it flat, or you can just iron it in a way that it is slightly opened like this, which is what I'm going to do. So I'll take it to the ironing table now and then iron it just like this. This is how I want it to be. So I'm going to go ahead and iron like this. So after ironing it, you bring your half length that we have already cut out. You are going to sew the half length to the lower part for both front and back. So I'll do all of this now. I've gone ahead to join it. You can see I have sewn the half length to the lower part. This is for the back, so you go ahead and iron it, and then this is for the front as well. I have joined the half thread to the lower part. So I also iron my plate. So I just put them together like this to iron, because I noticed once you wear it, the plate is automatically going to separate like this on its own. So what I just did is to match it together like this, and then I iron down the plate. So you will notice that this plate is looking flat. This is what it looks like on the wrong side. Okay, so now what you just need to do is to place the front and back on each other, just like you would do your normal dress. You place it on each other, then you're going to sew it together on the side as well as the shoulder. So you join it on the shoulder and then join it on the side. So the center back, I'm going to close it and install a zipper on that. Then we'll work on the sleeve. I've gone ahead to sew it. You can see I joined it on the shoulder. So I forgot to mention that you need to cut facing to turn your neckline. You can see this is the neckline and this is the back. It is neatly turned, so you have to either cut a facing or lining to turn it out, just like we have here. And I also installed my zipper at the back. So when you're installing your zipper, you have to be mindful of where they meet. Remember, there are two contrasting fabrics, so if you make a mistake on your zipper area, it's going to show. So you have to make sure that the zipper aligns properly like this when you are fixing your zipper. So using a pin you to is our kissing plate. This is what the back looks like as well. So now the next thing is to cut the sleeve. So for the sleeve as well, it's a combination of these two fabrics. So for the basic sleeve, I went ahead to cut out my regular basic sleeve, and then I used a length of 9 inches for the basic sleeves. That's the first one. Okay, I used the length of 9 inches for the first one, and then for the shorter one to make up the sleeve of my length, this is 5 inches, this is 5.5 inches after folding. So in total I have about 13.5 inches thereabout. So it's up to you and how long you want your sleeve to be. So by the time I sew it on this upper part here, I'm going to be having around 13 inches, which is fine for me. So what you just need to do is to cut out your basic sleeve using your normal measurement. So after cutting the basic sleeve, you are going to measure what you have on your hem like this, and then you multiply that by 2. So I did that and I have 36 inches. So I cut a fabric of 6 inches. Okay, 1/2 inches. You can see 6 inches here, and then I used to fold it and see the pleatings that we have there. You're going to pleat it round and then sew it, then you're going to iron it. I don't want this to be too long. That was why I just did that off camera. It's just your regular basic sleeve of 9 inches, and then you use the remaining inches to cut a straight fabric that you're going to pleat to make up the entire sleeve length that you want. So this is going to be the sleeve that you're going to. So I'm going to bring in my clothes now, and then I'll go ahead and sew this sleeve. Okay, I'm going to sew this sleeve to the armhole area. Then when you sew that, you are done. You can just go ahead and fix a pocket by the side if you want. I like to have pockets on my dresses, so I think I'm going to fix pockets to mine, but it is not compulsory. So I'll go ahead and fix my sleeves now, and then I'm going to bring it back for us to see what we have. Don't forget to also hem the lower part here. You're going to fold it in twice so that you can hem it all around. So I'm done fixing the sleeve now. You can see the sleeve is fixed already, and like I said, I always have pockets in my dresses, so I went ahead to fix a side pocket to it. There are several tutorials already on the channel on how you can fix a side pocket. So this is what the full dress looks like. So what you wear is this pattern that we have on the yoke is just going to be showing on the kissing plate part, and this is what we have on the back. So I'm going to take this to the mannequin now so that we can see what it looks like. Okay, so this is what it looks like on the mannequin. You can see the inverted plates that we have. We use the same fabric for it, and in my case I just use same pattern with different color, but you can use different pattern as well. Just make sure you use a fabric that complements each other very well. So this is the sleeve as well. You just need your basic sleeve and pleatings, and then you combine the colors you have on your dress as well. You can see how beautiful it is looking and how simple it is to make this. I hope you enjoy making this beautiful tutorial with me. If you enjoyed this, let us know in the comment section. Like, comment and subscribe to our channel. I'll see you in the next one.